Hi friends, today is going to be a day that we are going to learn on the computer. I am so happy that you are here with me this morning. I want to start off by saying good morning to Kylie. Hi sweetie. Hi Rosalie. Hi Bridget. Hi Gavin. Hi Chase. I hope you guys are having a good morning. I am excited for you to be here with me. Next, we are going to sing our good morning song. I want you guys to sing along with me, okay? Thank you.
Hello to the girls. Hello to the girls. Hello to the girls. How do you say hello? Hello to the boys. Hello to the boys. Hello to the boys. How do you say hello? Hello to the moms. Hello to the dads. Hello to the teachers. How do you say hello? Hello everybody. Hello everybody. Hello everybody. How do you say hello? Nice job.
Wow, I heard a lot of you guys singing along. Thank you so much for that. So after we do our good morning song, it is time for us to do our calendar. Who can remind us, what month are we in? Very good, it's October, right? So let's get ready to do our number line. Today we're going to count the numbers, so make sure you guys count along with Miss Honesty. So today we're going to count the numbers on our calendar. So I would like for you guys to count along with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And today's number is 21. So let's add our leaf up here, and a 21, my friends, is a 2 and a 1. Today is Wednesday, October 21st. Good job. So now that we're done our calendar, it is time for us to do a dance. So make sure you guys get up, and we're gonna do Going to Kentucky together. If you have something in your house, because you know how we do the scarves in our classroom, I don't know if you have a scarf at your house. If you don't, grab a hand towel or a washcloth, because you can swing that around like a scarf. Or a sock, anything you can find around the house. All right, join in.
To Kentucky, we're going to the fair to see the senoritas with flowers in their hair. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it all you can. Shake it like a milkshake and do the best you can. Oh, shake it to the bottom, shake it to the top, then turn around and turn around until it's time to stop. Okay, let's do it a little faster. We're going to Kentucky, we're going to the fair to see the senoritas with flowers in their hair. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it all you can. Shake it like a milkshake and do the best you can. Oh, shake it to the bottom, shake it to the top, then turn around and turn around until it's time to stop. Hold on to your hats. We're gonna go faster. We're going to Kentucky, we're going to the fair to see the senoritas with flowers in their hair. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it all you can. Shake it like a milkshake and do the best you can. Shake it to the bottom, shake it to the top, then turn around and turn around until it's time to stop.
Good job, friends. Friends, thank you so much for doing our dance with Miss Honesty. It's one of my favorite songs to dance to. Now it is time for us to get ready to do our morning meeting. So our morning message says, good morning, friends. Today is Ed's Day. Ed's Day? That's so silly. Something is missing from the word Wednesday. Wednesday. what letter starts Wednesday? Does anybody remember what letter do we need to make the word Wednesday? I don't know who said it, but good job, guys. The word Wednesday starts with a W. And a W, we're gonna put our marker at the top and we're gonna pull straight down, go back up, down, and up. And that is a uppercase W for the word Wednesday. So our question today says, I'm gonna back up. What do you like to do with your friends? So let's think about that. What are some of the things that you like to do with your friends? So let's think about that. What are some things that you like to do with your friends? I can tell you that when I'm with my friends, I like to play games. Sometimes my family and my friends will come over and we'll sit around and play a board game. One of my favorite is Pictionary. I don't know if you ever played that, but it's when you have to draw something and everybody has to try to guess what you're drawing. And it's a lot of fun. What are some things that you like to do with your friends? You like to play? What kinds of things do you like to play though? Oh, I heard somebody say they like to play at the park. Going to the park with a friend would be so much fun. What are some other things that you enjoy doing with your friends? Oh, playing Barbies. Oh, that sounds like fun. Oh, somebody said playing with cars. I know that you guys in our block center, you love to get together with your friends and play with the cars. Very nice. So it's a lot of fun to play with our friends and do different things with them. If you want to share with me later through the computer what you'd like to do with your friend, what's your favorite thing to do with your friend, I would love to hear all about it. So friends, now that morning meeting is over, it is time for our story. I hope that you enjoy it and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I'll see you later. Hi friends, now it is time for us to read a story. The story that I chose for today is called The Biggest Pumpkin Ever. This week we talked a lot about pumpkins, right, in our class. And who can remind me and tell me, where does pumpkins come from? How does a pumpkin grow? I think I heard somebody say it. What are these little things? Do you remember? We got to look at these. You're right, they're seeds. So in order for us to have a pumpkin, we need pumpkin seeds. And where do we put these pumpkin seeds? How do we make them grow? Do we just leave them sitting in my hand and they're gonna turn into a pumpkin? No, that's silly. How do we get a pumpkin to grow? Right, we have to plant it in the ground. Very good. Well, today our story is called The Biggest Pumpkin Ever, and I'm curious to see how big is this pumpkin. So let's read it together, friends. The Biggest Pumpkin Ever by Stephen Carroll. That means that Stephen is the one who wrote the words. He's the author, and it was illustrated by Jenny Bassett. Illustrated means that's the person. She's the one who drew the pictures. The biggest pumpkin ever. Once there were two mice that fell in love with the same pumpkin. Clayton, the house mouse, noticed it one day in the vegetable garden. It was still little and green, but Clayton thought he could make it grow really big. It might even get big enough to win the grand prize at the town pumpkin contest. Desmond, the field mouse, discovered the pumpkin the same day. He thought if he helped it grow, it could become the biggest jack-o'-lantern in the neighborhood. Friends, a jack-o'-lantern is when you take a pumpkin and you turn it, you make a face out of it, right? That's called a jack-o'-lantern. Remember that we learned how pumpkins, after you plant the seed, first pops out a sprout and then it grows onto a vine, and the pumpkins are first, what color is this? Right, at first they're green, but then as they get bigger and bigger, what color do they turn? Right, they turn orange. That afternoon, Clayton watered the pumpkin. He also mixed up some fertilizer and manure and water. He spread the mixture around the pumpkin to make it grow larger. That very same night, Desmond went into the garden. He watered the pumpkin too. He also spread some fertilizer and water all around the pumpkin to help make it grow. So fertilizer, my friends, helps plants grow. The next day, Clayton watered and fertilized the pumpkin again. That next night, Desmond did the same, and the pumpkin began to grow. By the end of the month, the pumpkin was so large, Clayton couldn't believe his eyes. What color is the pumpkin still, friends? Green, so we know it's going to keep growing. My goodness, said Clayton's mother, and it's not even full grown. Clayton shrugged. All I do is water it. His mom whispered, if you want the pumpkin to grow bigger and faster, you should use sugar water. That night, Desmond brought his brother Morris to see the pumpkin. Morris knew everything there was to know about growing things. That's some pumpkin, he said. Desmond shrugged his shoulders and said, well, all I do is water it. Morris whispered in his ear, you should try using some sugar water. Friends, it's so funny because Clayton's mom said to use sugar water, and he's watering the pumpkin in the daytime. And at the nighttime, here comes Desmond, and his brother said that he should water the same pumpkin with sugar water. I wonder what's going to happen. The next day, Clayton dug a small hole beside the pumpkin vine. In the hole, he placed a bowl full of sugar water. He cut into the vine with a few inches from the pumpkin. In the cut, he put one end of a piece of candle wick. Then he put another end in the sugar bowl water. At night, on one side of the pumpkin, Desmond did exactly the same thing. The next day, Clayton dug a small hole beside the pumpkin vine. In the hole, he placed a bowl full of sugar. He cut into the vine a few inches from the pumpkin. See right here, guys? He cut in, and then he took this piece right here and put it in a bowl full of sugar water so that it could go up through the vine and feed it to the pumpkin. At the nighttime, here comes Desmond, and guess what? He did exactly the same thing. Within a week, the pumpkin was twice the size that it had been. Within 2 weeks, it was absolutely enormous. What does enormous mean, my friends? You're right. It means it's giant. It's big. It's huge. Clayton was amazed. He ran down the road and peeked into his friend Jimmy's pumpkin patch. The pumpkin Jimmy was growing for the contest looked much smaller. Clayton scratched his head. I have an amazing pumpkin, and I think I'm going to win the contest. That night, Desmond and his brother Morris spent a long time looking at the pumpkin. How do you think it got so big? Morris shrugged. A little luck and a little skill, he said. It's gonna make some jack-o'-lantern, said Desmond. That sure is, said his brother. A week later, Clayton noticed the pumpkin was bigger than the family car. During the day, everyone he knew came to admire it. Look at them all. They're like, whoa, that's really big. And at the nighttime, all the field mice gathered around to do the same. By now, summer was almost over. In a week, the pumpkin would be full grown and start turning yellowish, and then it would turn orange. A few weeks after that, it would be ripe and ready for the pumpkin contest. Clayton could hardly wait. The pumpkin was growing so fast. It would soon be larger than his house. Then he had a terrible thought. If the pumpkin was so big, how is he going to get it to the contest? It wouldn't fit in his red wagon. It won't even fit in his truck. Clayton decided to worry about this when the time came. Friends, look, can that pumpkin fit in that truck? No, it's bigger than his house. That night, the weather grew colder. Thinking there might be an early frost, Clayton rushed out to the pumpkin with his blanket. One was not enough. Soon he was rushing back and forth, carrying all the blankets from his house. As he worked, he hummed a little song, and as he hummed, he heard someone else singing. He began to realize that someone else was covering the pumpkin with blankets. So here's Clayton. Friends, who else is helping to cover? You're right, Desmond had seen the same news about the early frost, so he too brought out blankets to cover the pumpkin. As he worked, he sang a little song. And as he sang, he began to realize that somebody else was working and humming too. When everything had been explained, Clayton said, I know I will win the contest if I can get my pumpkin to town. Desmond smiled. I'll help you. Just let me carve the pumpkin into a jack-o'-lantern for Halloween when the contest is over. It's a deal, said Clayton. A deal, said Desmond, and they shook on it. So friends, both Desmond and Clayton were both taking care of the same pumpkin, but they didn't even know it. So now they have a plan to share the pumpkin, right? They are making good green choices and being kind friends to one another. The morning of the contest was bright and sunny. Mice were bringing their pumpkins to the town square by truck and cars and wagons. Some were rolling them on the ground. We know that they can roll a pumpkin because pumpkins are round and they roll, right? Wow, look what's coming down the road. Suddenly, they all stopped short. Over the field came the biggest pumpkin anyone has ever seen. It was being pulled by 100 field mice on motorcycles. When the pumpkin reached town, it was too big for any of the streets. Clayton had explained why they couldn't bring it to the square. The mayor understood at once. He led the crowd to the giant pumpkin and pinned it with a prize ribbon. Then everyone danced around. Who would have believed, said Clayton as he danced around. Who would have believed this, said Desmond, in the same moment. So his pumpkin won first prize. And now look, friends, just like they said, he won the prize during the day, right? At the town, he won the prize for the biggest pumpkin, and now it's Desmond's turn to turn it into a jack-o'-lantern. When the celebration was over, the 100 field mice pulled their pumpkin back to the field. The day before Halloween, they carved it into the best jack-o'-lantern ever. And on Halloween night, its wonderful, smiling face could be glowing for miles around. The end. So friends, thank you so much for listening to The Biggest Pumpkin Ever. I hope that you enjoyed the story. Wasn't it kind of neat how Clayton and Desmond were both taking care of the same pumpkin? But they didn't even know that, right? Because Clayton would take care of the pumpkin during the what? During the day, right? And then Desmond would come at the nighttime and take care of the pumpkin too. So it was getting all this love and getting taken care of. And it grew to be super big. And I loved how the two friends and the end of the story, the two mice, they worked together and they made a plan with each other and they made a deal to share the pumpkin. right? Because that's what friends do. We share with one another. All right, friends, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you for listening to the story with Miss Honesty. Bye.